My wife gave me an ultimatum: deposit my inheritance into our joint account or face divorce. 2 months after my father died, that was her demand, and that's when everything changed. Hello, Reddit I plus here. I'm 42. My dad passed a little over 3 months ago at 69, lifelong welder. The kind of man who didn't say much but could fix anything you put in front of him. He spent years building things for other people and always told me one day I should build something for myself. He left me $195,000. Not insane money, but enough to finally open the custom wood shop he always pushed me toward. Something real. Something that lasts longer than you do. Last thing he told me, standing in his garage with sawdust all over his boots: don't sit on it. Build something with it. My wife, Alina, 39, found out the day the money landed. We were having dinner. I checked my phone, went quiet. She noticed immediately. What is it? It came through, I said. She got up, hugged me tight, kissed my cheek. He'd be proud of you, she said softly. Use it wisely. At the time, it felt sincere. Now I know better. At first, it was just questions. So what's the plan for the money? This changes things for us, doesn't it? I told her I needed time. I was still grieving, still processing everything. She nodded, and then brought it up again the next day. And the next, and the next. A week later, she stopped hinting. We were on the couch when she said it straight. You should move the money into our joint account. I looked at her. Why? So we can manage it together. We're married. Here's the thing. We had a system that worked perfectly for 6 years. Joint account for bills, separate accounts for everything else. No arguments, no confusion. I reminded her of that. Then I reminded her of something else. Her parents gave her $45,000 when we got married. Stayed in her account. Her bonuses? Hers. Inheritance from her uncle? Also hers. I never asked for access, never complained. Now suddenly, my money was ours. It's different, she said. How? It just is. That's when the pressure started. Daily conversations turned into daily arguments. Morning coffee? Have you thought about what I said? Dinner? I still don't understand why you're being like this. Before bed, you're acting like I'm a stranger. It stopped feeling like a marriage and started feeling like a negotiation I didn't agree to be part of. Then came the emotional angle. You don't trust me. You're planning to leave me, aren't you? Our whole relationship feels like a lie now. That one almost worked, but something felt off. Because trust isn't proven by giving up boundaries you both respected for years. Then she escalated. She brought it up in front of friends, made comments like, some people don't understand what marriage means. Her brother texted me calling me selfish. Her mom left me a voicemail saying I was withholding from my own wife. And then came the ultimatum. Friday night. She was already sitting at the table when I got home. Calm. Too calm. I've made my decision, she said. You have until Monday to transfer the money into our joint account. If you don't, I'm filing for divorce on Tuesday. No hesitation, no emotion. Like she'd rehearsed it. I laughed, not because it was funny, because I genuinely couldn't believe this was happening. You're serious? Completely. So I sat down across from her, and instead of arguing, I asked one question. If I had asked you to put your inheritance into our joint account, would you have done it? She didn't even blink. That's not the same. That was all I needed. Monday morning, I didn't go to work. I went to a lawyer. By the afternoon, my inheritance was secured in a separate protected account. My business paperwork was in motion. I'd already started filing for separation Tuesday morning. She asked the question. So, did you transfer it? I slid an envelope across the table. She smiled until she opened it. Everything changed in seconds. Her face dropped. What is this? Paperwork, I said. You said divorce. That's when the switch flipped, and I mean instantly. First came the panic, then anger, then something else. You think you're walking away with that money? She snapped. You're married. I'm entitled to half of everything. I stayed calm. That's not how inheritance works. Her voice got louder. I'll take you to court. I'll take the house, your savings, that money too. You'll regret this. It wasn't even subtle anymore. It wasn't about us. It was about what she could get. The next few days were a mess. Texts, calls, long messages flipping between threats and guilt. You're destroying our marriage over money. You owe me after everything I've put into this relationship. I will make sure you don't walk away with anything. Then, when that didn't get a reaction from me, she switched again. I didn't mean it like that. I was just emotional. We can fix this. I miss us. She even showed up at my workshop space while I was meeting with a contractor. No warning. No shame. Just walked in like nothing had happened. I think we should talk, she said quietly. I stepped outside with her. She looked different. Softer. Controlled. I overreacted, she said. We both did. Let's just forget all of this and start over. No apology, just reset. I asked her one thing. If I move the money back, does all of this go away? She hesitated. Just for a second, but it was enough. That told me everything. When she realized I wasn't coming back, the threats returned, lawyers, assets, taking everything. But here's the part she didn't count on. I listened to mine. Inheritance stayed mine. Always had been. Always would be. A few weeks later, her tone changed again. Shorter messages, less anger, more fishing. How's the shop going? I saw something that reminded me of you. I hope you're doing okay. I stopped responding, not out of spite, just clarity. It's been 5 months now. The shop is open. First project I finished was a dining table, solid walnut, clean lines, heavy enough that it'll outlast me. Underneath it, where no one will see, I carved something small. Make it count. I think I did, so yeah, that's where I'm at. She tried pressure, then guilt, then threats, then pretending none of it happened. Now she's trying to reconnect, like we just had a normal disagreement. I'm not going back. But I still think about one thing sometimes. Was this who she always was? Or did the money just make it impossible for her to hide it anymore? I thought that was the end of it. Clean break, papers filed, no contact. Move on. Yeah. No. About 2 weeks after I stopped responding, she escalated again. Not with threats this time, with strategy. I got served at the workshop. Middle of the day. I was sanding down a cabinet frame when some guy in a suit walked in, asked my name, and handed me an envelope. I already knew what it was before I opened it, but I still opened it. She was contesting everything. Not just the divorce, the assets, the house, my savings. And somehow, she was even trying to claim a portion of the inheritance. Her argument? That the money had become part of the marital plan because I intended to use it to start a business during the marriage. Yeah, that was actually written in there. I called my lawyer immediately. He read through it, didn't even blink. She's reaching, he said. This won't hold. I asked him straight. Can she touch the inheritance? No, he said, not unless you mixed it. And you didn't. Still didn't mean it would be quick or clean. Court dragged on for weeks. Not dramatic, not like the movies, just draining. Paperwork, statements, back and forth. But here's where it got interesting. Her tone in court was completely different from the messages she'd been sending me. Calm, controlled, almost reasonable. Talking about shared futures and mutual plans. Painting this picture like we were building something together, and I suddenly pulled the rug out. Except there was one problem. Receipts don't lie, my lawyer brought up everything. Our financial setup, years of separate accounts, her inheritance, her bonuses. The fact that she never once shared those. Then he asked the question that basically ended her argument. If separate finances were acceptable for years, why did that standard suddenly change only when his inheritance arrived? She didn't have a real answer. Same line. It's different. The judge didn't look impressed. After that, things shifted fast. Her claim on the inheritance dismissed. Completely. She still pushed for more from everything else, though. Tried to argue she deserved a larger share of the house because of emotional damages. Yeah, that didn't land either. In the end, the split was straightforward. Fair, predictable. Exactly what it should have been from the start. You'd think that would be the end. It wasn't. A week after everything finalized, she showed up again. This time, I was alone in the shop. Door opened, and there she was. No warning, no text, just standing there like she belonged. She looked different. Not polished, not put together, tired. I just wanted to see it, she said, looking around. I didn't answer. It's nice, she added. You actually did it. Still nothing from me. She stepped closer. I didn't think you'd really go through with everything. That part almost made me laugh. Then she softened her voice. I've been thinking a lot, she said, about us. There it was. I messed up, she continued. I pushed too hard. I let money get in the way of what we had. First actual admission I'd heard. I don't want this to be how we end. I finally spoke. It already is. She flinched a little, but she didn't leave. We can start over, she said. No pressure, no arguments, just us. That's when I asked her something I hadn't asked before. Be honest with me. She nodded. If I didn't have that money, would you be standing here right now? She didn't answer. Not right away. And that silence, that was louder than anything she could have said. I do love you, she said eventually. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. At that point, it didn't matter, because love doesn't come with ultimatums. It doesn't show up with contracts and threats, and it definitely doesn't disappear the second money enters the room. I hope things work out for you, I told her, and I meant it, just not with me. She stood there a few more seconds, then nodded, and left. Haven't seen her since. The shop's doing better now. Not booming, not struggling, just steady. Which, honestly, is exactly what I wanted. Sometimes late at night, when it's quiet and I'm finishing up a piece, I think about how close I came to losing all of it. Not just the money, the shop, the plan, everything my dad worked his whole life to leave behind. Well, all because I almost folded under pressure. So yeah, that's the full story. If you're reading this and you're in something similar, here's the only thing I'll say. Pay attention when someone shows you what they value most, especially when they think they're about to win. Because that moment, that's usually the most honest version of them you're ever going to get.